Hi, my name's Duncan Boycott and I'm from Seamaster Training Centre. I'm going to try and show you something today that may help you work with variation, the applying of variation from a true to a magnetic heading, and then taking the variation away from a magnetic heading or bearing to give you a true reading again. So I've just got on my pad here a couple of options for you, and I also have the top of a Portland plotter here that hopefully you can see quite clearly. Let's just make sure that you can see that. Okay, so looking at this first option here, that we have a true heading or bearing and we want to change this into a magnetic heading, and I know a lot of people have some confusion with error west, compass best, error east, compass least whilst working from true to magnetic. This is an easier method for you. So let's imagine that we've taken a heading or bearing from the chart, which would be a true bearing, and we want to convert this to a magnetic heading or bearing. And let's say that we've taken, as we can see on here, 0660 as a true heading from the chart, and that in our first instance we want to apply a variation here of 5 degrees west to this true heading of 060. Very simple way to do this is to look at the errors here. We've got a westerly error and an easterly error. We're going to look for the westerly error of 5 degrees west. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 puts us here, and then we're simply going to read off on the compass rose here, and that will tell us that with westerly variation of 5 degrees, a true heading of 060 will give us a magnetic heading of 065 degrees magnetic. And in the same instance, with a easterly variation of 5 degrees, we dial in our true heading here, and an easterly variation of 5 degrees here will give us a magnetic heading of 055 degrees magnetic. Hope you can hear that. The locals are a little bit vocal this morning, so hopefully that will help you with taking true to magnetic. Now, in the same way as we've just applied variation to go from true to magnetic, we can use this area of the Portland plotter to take a magnetic heading or bearing and to take it back into true. If we look at the little examples that we have here, example number 1 is a variation of 10 degrees west. And let's say that we've used a compass, magnetic compass, to take a bearing to something, and the bearing that we've taken was 090. Now what we're going to do with these error guides here, we're not actually going to dial the 090 into the naught section here. We've got a westerly variation of 10 degrees, so I'm going to dial the bearing in to a westerly variation of 10 degrees on the Portland plotter here. So instead of dialing it in there again as we would do working the other way, I'm going to dial this bearing of 90 degrees or 090 magnetic in with the westerly error of 10 degrees. So I'm going to dial that in to error west 10 degrees. And then all I simply need to do is to go back to the 0 part here and read off what would be my true bearing. So by dialing this into the 10 degree error here, I can see that a magnetic bearing of 090 when the variation is 10 degrees west gives me a true heading here of 080. And then in the same way, if my variation is 10 degrees east, if I dial my 090 magnetic bearing into the easterly error here, I can see that as a magnetic bearing of 090 magnetic with an easterly variation of 10 degrees will give me a true heading of 100 degrees true. I hope that was clear for you, and I hope it's a little trick that will just help you with working with variation both from true to magnetic and from magnetic to true. See you soon.